Welcome, everyone. It is Friday, February the 23rd, and this is Focus Friday. How's everybody feeling? Oh, I forgot. I can't get you. Nobody's on here. And Casey, I agree. Warmer weather is ahead, and I hated killing that song, but it's we have to because it's 10 o'clock and we like to start on time. So today we're going to keep our focus on listings because we want everybody to be getting at least one listing a month. And for our topic, it's going to be Wealth Engine. So Wealth Engine is a powerful tool that is included and company paid in our global luxury marketing package. And we have a speaker, which I'm still waiting for her to show up, guys. I apologize. Oh, here she is. All right. I'm going to get Moira on here to join us. I think just one moment. Here we go. I'm promoting her to panelist. So Moira is going to be joining us. And just like I said in my Facebook post to our groups, she's a senior director and head of global luxury. And she's joining us right now. Hi, Moira. Moira, you got to turn on your volume. There you are. Hello.
Nice to meet you. Thank you
Nice.
for having me here today.
Yeah. And so I was just telling them that you are the senior director and head of global luxury at Altrata. Did I say that correctly?
Mhm.
And you work with sales teams not only in real estate, but many of the top global companies in sports, travel, auto, and retail. So you're just not a real estate focus.
No. I spent last week in London and Paris with the major fashion brands and aviation firms. So our data really does apply across many different sectors. So
Wow.
it's busy.
Okay, so tell us about Wealth Engine and how we can best utilize it.
Absolutely. So Coldwell Banker, and so to back up two steps, Altrata is our parent company. There are 5 data sources within the company, and I represent 3 of them: Wealth Engine, WealthX, and Relationship Science. We have 2 others that are very sort of boardroom centric. That's really do fall into sort of a talent acquisition sector, so a little bit different. But what we do is we help brands accelerate discovery of the right individuals, and create prioritization and segmentation opportunities. Wealth Engine is a database of approximately 150 million US individuals. And in that, we offer probably the best wealth identification available in any data source. Most stop at around 2 million or 5 million. And our platform actually goes up to 500 million and more. So if you're worth 2 million and you're using something like Axiom, you're going to be called a multimillionaire right alongside Mark Cuban. So not a lot of granularity in some of the other sources that are out there. And that's where we shine. Coldwell Banker and Wealth Engine have had a partnership going back, I would say, at least 7 years. And I was had the privilege of starting it back with your executive team then. And what they felt was that we can help you do your job better. So a list of people from an open house, who shows up? Can they afford the property that you're showing? Or should you direct them someplace else? Either a lower price point or maybe a higher price point. That lead qualification component, really important in actually helping you save time, so that you're not representing the wrong property or things get misaligned. Additionally, Wealth Engine has a very strong list build function. So if you have a listing that is very unique, a horse property or something, you can actually go in and pull a list to market to, and that's a big function of how the real estate teams use us. So those 2 alone should help create efficiencies in your day. We're not here to make you sit in our platform for hours. You should be able to come in, look up what you need, and go on with selling more properties. I'm happy to show the platform. I wasn't sure what you wanted today, but I could do a quick walkthrough that would be helpful.
Yeah, let's do that. And
Okay.
let's make sure you should be able to share.
Yeah.
If not, let me know.
Okay. Okay, so in here, this is my platform. The search and these prospect functions are really going to be where you spend most of your time. And I'm going to start here on the prospect side. And this is where you can create a list or actually just get a sort of a high level view of what markets look like. So right now I can see I have 106 million households in my platform. And I have I think it's about 150 attributes that I could create segments leveraging those individual attributes. We're going to look at a region here in a minute, but all of these things, it's meant to be very user friendly. It is a SaaS tech platform. Shouldn't be scary at all because it's all toggles and ads and very simple to navigate here. We want emails, most likely we're going to be trying to reach these people with emails. So we'll always click that. I'm going to bring my age down because while the charitable institutions that we work with really would like to know who's 100 years old with a lot of money because they write very generous checks, for our purposes, you could change this any way you want. If it's a starter home, if it's a retirement community, you can set your age in any manner that is most appropriate for you. And then I'm going to just play with my wealth here. So I can go all the way up here and say, wow, there are 1,200, 1,100 households in the country that we identify as being a demi-billionaire. That's important if you're selling something on Billionaire Row or, in one of the Amman properties in New York right now. But you can play with this any way you want and set that wealth. Down here, I've got quite a list of attributes to play with. Real estate is obviously very impactful. And the nice thing with this function here, we've partnered with CoreLogic that you may or may not be aware of, massive #1 data source for real estate in the marketplace there is. So we actually get monthly refreshes from them of all properties bought and sold. So this data is going to be very, very strong. It's all assessed value. So as we go into a record, you'll be able to see what properties somebody owns. But for here, I'm going to go down and I'm going to pick somebody who's got, let's say, at least 2 properties. And I want that value to be substantial. So we're going to go up to, we'll just say 5 million for now. So across the country, I have 175,000, but right now I'm going to go in and I'm going to say, maybe I'm selling a home near Princeton, New Jersey, my hometown. So right away, I've got 319 people who may meet this criteria. It's probably still maybe too much for me to think about because Princeton's very expensive. And if you're worth $1 million in New Jersey, it's unfortunately not that meaningful anymore. So I'm going to take this up a little bit and see what happens. All right, so let's go up one more. So you see at 25 million, I have 27 very legitimate buyers, potential buyers, who are worth more than 25 million, live near Princeton, own 2 or more properties, and fall into sort of this age group here. And if I wanted to get super granular and say, Princeton's also a mecca for equestrian properties, let's see if any of these people have any established interest in horses. And you can go in here, and if you're pulling properties, in New York or selling properties, and you want performing arts or spectator sports, there's lots of abilities here to come in and really create some refined audience segments. Let me just go down here to my equestrian. I don't know, this will be interesting. We might be too small, but let's just see what happens. Yeah, it's not going to work. So let's put golf. So 20 of these people have an interest in golf. And there's actually, I would say within that parameter I put, there's probably 7 to 10 golf courses. So it makes sense. But right away, I can be crazy granular here, or I could bring it down a little bit and say that's probably too small. But you see what I'm doing? I can build these segments to be very, very unique to a property. And then if I said, I want to know what that wealth footprint looks like near them, near Princeton, you know, and I'll take off the number of properties. So I have 362 people within 25 miles who we can contact via email that I could work with. And then super simple to actually activate this, you would click yes. It's going to give you kind of a high level view here. You have 2 that are over 500 million. And it's interesting thing, depending upon the type of property, you may want to exclude that higher end of the range if maybe it's an expensive townhome or something. You know, in some instances, a property may not align with a billionaire or demi-billionaire. So up to you. Again, you can make that decision. Then we're just telling you that you have personal data that you're going to have access to be careful. And then I'm just going to download them. And now it's taking me over to this My Profiles tab, which is sort of my filing cabinet of data that I've pulled. And I keep mine very anonymous, but if you pull a list like this, you're going to want to rename it and say, this is Princeton with horses at 5 million or whatever it is. Then I can actually take a look at who these people are. And this is the data that you will get in your export. Again, very powerful. They're obviously a name, that net worth. The wealth score, when we're looking at this high of a wealth, is always going to be high. If you're in that 1 to 5 million range, this will help you. It could be a 70 or it could be a 90. It's going to help you sort of better refine and understand that wealth spread within an audience and what their primary address is. And you'll see here, like they have a property. This person here, let's see, Mr. Karmazin has a property in Princeton, but his primary address is Central Park. So if you see that, just know that this person owns multiple properties and he's worth 500. Here are my 2 $500 million people that we saw. Age, they're going to be accredited investors. This is the SEC definition that we also apply. A spouse, if we know it. Emails, phones, income. Income is always going to be conservative. It's not a public data point. We don't know what people's paychecks look like, and particularly at these high wealth levels, a wealthy person is going to have multiple revenue streams. There's no way to capture it. So we recommend using net worth as an indicator versus an income. And then here, really powerful here to understand what that real estate footprint looks like and what that should give you some ideas on intent and maybe which ones to focus on, first, right? Again, that prioritization and segmentation. And then if you want to download this list, you're going to select all 362 and you're going to hit export. And it's going to encrypt it and send you a note in your email and say, your list is ready. And then you have access to this to reach out to. The multiple emails can cause confusion. We refresh the emails. We have the number 1 contact data provider in the country that we partner with. But if Moira has 3 emails, there's no way we can tell you which one she uses for work, for children, for running activities. So it's best to, be cautious when you use them. And you know that if you mail all 3 or 5, not all of them might be delivered. So there's no email service in the world that can promise 100% deliverability. So just recognize that emails are there's a lot going on with them because most people now have multiple emails by whatever interest they have. You know, I also have one for promotions for stores because with what I do, I received hundreds of emails from different brands. But again, very powerful, great way to use the data. And then, like I said, you can export it, send them notes, or email them directly. And then you'll have a list of what you've pulled. And again, you're going to want to name it here. I didn't because I just work with too many clients. I need to keep it anonymous. The other super powerful function is here. And I'm going to pull Robert Sidkoff. I remember this. He was a gentleman who I came across with a furniture brand that we were working with. And they said he came into our store in Boston and we don't know anything about him. And we want to see if we should include him going forward in any marketing. So we put him in and he is in Massachusetts. We found him pretty quickly and his net worth is right. You know, they're excited when they see that. But if for some reason, maybe you're on the phone, someone calls up and says, I can't wait to see that property, you could actually put that name in very quickly here while you're on the phone and get a high level view of what that person's profile is going to look like. 10 million, great validation right off the bat. So that's here to give you that sort of quick view. In here, you're going to see you've got a real estate marking indicator. Income, again, you see is low because we can't verify that, what that net worth is. Over here are going to be charitable giving scores. We work a lot with charity, and I would say the majority of our clients are in the philanthropic world. So what he's able to spend, what we know he spent, and then if we can connect him to other people, and we can't, it's probably just he and his wife. But then you can click in and we can learn a little bit more about him. So we have put some URLs into some public sites to, again, accelerate your ability to learn what you can about this individual. So if I go to Zillow, oh my gosh, the company nearly fell off their chair when they saw the type of property that he already is in. So in 30 seconds, we were able to validate this lead for them. Incredibly powerful. And then I could look at his research details and I see he's got several properties here. We've got some charitable donations, some schools. Looks like he went to law school, definitely a lot of law organizations he's been part of. But, you know, I could also just flip to LinkedIn and see if I can get a quick view on where he works. Okay, he's a professor of law at Harvard. We just checked every box that this company could possibly want on the credibility of this lead. And if you wanted to and say, this is awesome, you know, you can print, you could export it. Fair warning, it's long because of all those ancillary data points that we've collected here, but hugely powerful in helping you qualify leads. You know, if you're at an open house, as long as you can, you know, Moira walks in, I'm so happy you're here. Are you from the area? Oh, you're from Princeton. Can you sign in? Moira Boyle from Princeton. You can look them up while they're actually walking around the house, and really understand, is it an appropriate property for them? There are many of the high jewelers on Fifth Avenue. When you walk in, will look you up in my system to say, Moira's looking at that Grace Kelly necklace that's $2 million. They'll show it to you happily, but they're also going to show me the bangle that I probably can't afford. So they're using it to, again, make sure that everyone is taken care of properly. They're going to make you feel like the princess, but they're also going to go, you know, what's really trendy right now is this incredible, you know, $50 bracelet. So very, very powerful in qualification opportunities. So the two functions that we've put together for Coldwell Banker to have access to is that, like I said, that list build, and you have the global luxury certified Coldwell Banker agents have access to this for free. The registration process is a little bumpy because there's two forms that are required, one from Coldwell Banker, one from Wealth Engine, that the legal teams needed to just make sure that everyone's using this personal data appropriately and making sure everyone's aware of the process. And with that free access, you actually receive 1,000 credits to pull 1,000 names out. So you can come in and pull, I think we were up to 300 or something, pull 50 or pull 100 for specific marketing purposes. And then you have, the ability to go back, reuse them or look at them again. To start that process, you go to Coldwell Banker's desk, the internal portal, and you search Wealth Engine, and there should be a link to a sort of a fair housing compliance form that kicks off the process. Apologies, because it is a little manual and labor intensive for both sides of the teams. So it does take, I would say, a week to 2 weeks to get signed up. It's just very, very manual in terms of how we can make this work. But it's really powerful. And like I said, it's been about 7 years. We improved the program last year for you to give you those 1,000 names and to make sure that the global agents have access, at no cost. And we also run bi-monthly trainings, so that if today you hear this and you go and try and use it next week or something, and I have no idea what she did. There's sessions every other Tuesday where you can log in and literally just ask a question or get support, or get a new training if you forgot what we've done today.
So Moira, where do we go to desk to sign up for those trainings? And just
no.
Okay.
So desk will get you to the fair housing sheet. Then Coldwell Banker sort of validates the applicants and then sends me specifically a list of people to move on to our data privacy agreement. And when we send the data privacy agreement, we send that training schedule, and in that schedule is just a link to register. So you'll get it as the process moves on.
Gotcha. So just so everyone's clear here in our organization, if you are not a global luxury specialist, that's okay. Our marketing team, when you order a global luxury marketing package, does this work for you. They do this work for you. So they're going to pull the list and prepare the marketing images and things that you're going to use to market the property. But as a global luxury specialist, where you go ahead and take the class, then you're able to get access like this and what Moira just told us.
Yeah, you don't need to, the class is not required. It's the legalese, it's the two forms. The classes are very helpful. I would say that. But they're not a requirement.
We have a question here. Will it profile based on their online searches?
No, we can't capture intent. This is all, we have to be compliant with all the data privacy laws. So we are compliant with CCPA. We're compliant with the laws that are going into effect in Colorado and in Vermont. So Wealth Engine is these records are built using approximately 45 different sources. Like I said, CoreLogic, our contact data. We pull into paid lifestyle sources, and basic voter registration to make sure that everyone we have is a U.S. adult. But in terms of online data, it's not usually verifiable, and that intent, that the digital space is very hard to capture, and we're more about like the truth file, not about the digital activity.
Okay, awesome. Well, Moira, I don't think we have any other questions, and our time up here is wrapping up. Thank you so much for sharing this very, very powerful tool. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Any questions, reach out and we'll do our best to answer anything for you.
Okay, awesome. Very good. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you
Thank
next week.
you.
And next week is going to be the 1st of March. So see you then.
Bye-bye.